Hello, everyone. Welcome back to my channel, Media Picker. My name is Brandon. Just real quick, if you're new here, this channel is about reselling media online for a profit. Something you might be interested in, please check out the channel and consider subscribing. Greatly appreciate it. Uh, this is really cool, but I'm also a little nervous about this. I'll share my screen. I had a huge CD sale. It's top three probably as far as most expensive CDs I've ever sold on eBay since doing this for the last few years. I'll tell you why I'm leery about it and what I tried to do ahead of time before I accepted the offer, and then what I may need to do if this ends up being a scam, which I'm a little concerned with, but kind of not. It just depends. I know they're few and far between, but they are out there, so you have to be aware of it. But let's take a look and see what I sold. Yeah, this is a digipack or cardboard sleeve, sealed. It's partially torn in a couple spots, which I did disclose in the listing. I even listed it as very good condition, not even like new. Kind of dot I's cross T's. It is sealed though. Iron Dragon Self Tile. I did a little research on them. They are a hair metal band from the Seattle area. This is a 6-track EP they put out. Obviously, you can't get this anywhere. There wasn't any on eBay. I tried to see if I could find any type of comps or anything for it. So I'm like, you know what? I'm just gonna throw it up for $400 and see what happens. Take offers. Well, it was on sale, so it dropped from $400 to $319.98. I got an offer this morning. Here's where it gets a little interesting. I'm not gonna show the buyer information. The offer I got is from somebody in North Carolina, which is fine, no big deal. It could have been overseas. That would have been fine too. They have over 1,600 feedback. Usually, when I get offers, I take a quick peek at the feedback, see if there's like a pattern of negatives or something, or on especially higher stuff. So I did that for this, obviously, because if you have the opportunity to check feedback and stuff like that, just to see if there's any red flags on something you're selling for $288, you're gonna do it. At least I would. Well, feedback's private. I'm like, oh shit. They have over 1,600 feedback. It's private. I can't get into it. I can't check it. So I'm like, well, if this was a new buyer, I'd probably still ship it. So what's the difference between it being a private feedback person that's obviously frequent to eBay with over 1,600 feedback, as opposed to a difference between that and a new buyer? Well, there really isn't. I guess obviously the seasoned person could know some stuff as far as how to scam and so on and so forth. They could file an I am not described, or as people call them, INADS cases, and force to ship it back and ship me something else that's not that, and then they get their money back plus keep the rare CD in the process. They could say they didn't receive it, but if tracking shows delivered, I'm covered at least that way through eBay. I will tell you that I did finally accept the offer. I mulled over it for a few hours. The next action I took, I figured I'd take a shot. I didn't know if this was going to fly by any chance, but I'm like, you know what? Let me just take a shot and message eBay on Facebook. So I did. I said, hello, my name is blah, blah, blah. And you have to give them your email information, zip code, and your username, so on and so forth. You have to give them all that information and a couple other pieces of information before they'll even contact you. And I said, I'm hoping you can help me. I said, I just received an offer on a rare city. Here's the IAB number, blah, blah, blah. So this is the buyer's name. I said, their feedback is private. I said, I can't. I said, for some reason I couldn't message them. I could. I figured that out later, but I wasn't going to message them about something like this necessarily either, because that kind of says red flags on the seller end. You don't want to do that either. I said, I know you probably can't give me detailed information, I said, but I'm curious if you're able to tell me if their account has had any past issues with previous purchases made, such as any negative feedback patterns for sellers, issues with items not described, or if they have any other issues regarding their account that I need to be aware of before accepting this offer. So I appreciate your assistance. Thanks. They responded back. Fortunately, they were no help. Thanks for messaging eBay. We will never ask for any personal identifying payment related information, blah, blah, blah. That's a generic thing. Let me skip that. Hold on. They responded back. They said, Hi, Brandon. Thanks for reaching out about the offer from the buyer. I said, I can understand why any concerns with buyer's feedback being private and not being able to message them. So I'm happy to help further. For security reasons, we have no access to the buyer's account, which I think is crap. But it says no access to the buyer's account to see any potential negative feedback patterns or previous purchases. In order for us to have access to review that, we would need to have the buyer contact us. Well, I'm not going to ask the buyer to contact eBay just so they can review it. So, in other words, I'm basically more or less vetting the buyer to see if they qualify by my guidelines, I guess. If you're worried about the offer you've received or the buyer, you can decline the offer. That was all they told me. So I mulled it over for another hour. I contacted my friend who's a reseller. He sells on Macari, he sells on Etsy, and got his opinion on it. Excuse me. And he said, well, again, he brought up the whole thing about a new user. He said, what would be the difference if it was a new user, new to eBay? Would you sell it to him? I said, yeah, I don't have a problem with any new user. He's like, well, why would you have a problem with this one? I'm like, well, I get that. It just normally I can check their feedback, and this one just kind of threw a curveball at me that I couldn't, especially being on an expensive CD. If it was like a $5 CD and I couldn't check their feedback, no big deal. But this CD's got some value, obviously, because it sold for what it sold for. So I'm taking the chance. I accepted the offer. It's under 4 ounces. The thing's like really light. So I put one of my business cards in there. Threw bubble wrap around it. Put thick cardboard on both sides of it. Taped it together. And then threw it in a bubble mailer on top of that. Now, this one I'm actually going to go, normally I just drop all my packages at the post office at the desk and they scam, within 15, 20 minutes when they have a free moment. This one I'm actually going to stay online and actually wait for a receipt. So I have a receipt copy. I'm shipping a Ground Advantage, which only covers up to $100 as far as insurance goes. I paid an extra $4.26 to get additional insurance to cover the value of the sale for $288. So my total shipping cost is $8.50. Currently, barring any issues or whatever future possible scam or anything, my profit's over $225. So I'll take that. My buy cost on the CD, by the way, was only 39 cents. This came in an eBay bulk CD lot buy. And I found it and I'm like, well, I'm going to name a market price. And obviously I did pretty well with it. So I will keep you guys posted if anything else arises from this. I'm not sure if anything will. I'm hoping nothing does, and it goes as smoothly as the last one I did. I sold another CD a year or two ago for about the same price to a guy in West Hollywood. He bought I probably underpriced it. He bought within 30 minutes of me listing it. And it was a rare hip hop CD that I'd never heard of, or it was on a small label and obviously limited print runs. But anyway, that went smooth, no issues, no nothing. So I did message the buyer today, let them know that the package was securely packed and will be going out later this afternoon. Just so they're aware. I hope I get a contact back so they say, hey, cool, I'm excited or whatever, just to know that I don't like when people just kind of lie low necessarily, especially on something this expensive. But I mean, it is what it is. Worst case scenario, if this is a scam and they try to pull something, I can file mail fraud case. I can file an internet crimes case, IC3. I can file a police report. And doing those three things, I believe, if I dispute anything, will at least get me my money back with eBay. So worst case scenario, I don't think I'd be out anything necessarily. I think I can at least be made whole again by eBay, but you have to jump through a lot of hoops and red tape before it gets to that point. But I'll keep you posted. If there's anything else comes arises of this, you'll hear from me on another video. Otherwise, at this point, no news is good news, and this is an excellent sale for the holiday season. And that's it. If you got anything out of this, consider subscribing to the channel. Click the like button, which helps me out. Click the bell for future notifications, other videos just like this. And have a good one, everybody. Talk to you later. Bye.